It could end wars before they even start. But when Donald Trump took office in January 2025, these plans didn't just accelerate, they ignited the most dangerous arms race in history. This is the story of the F-47, America's sixth-generation fighter jet. A machine that makes every other aircraft look like a toy. What makes this reveal shocking isn't just its power. It's how China and Russia are preparing to strike back. For years, a sixth-gen jet seemed impossible. NASA chased designs that defied physics, but prototypes kept failing. Billions were wasted, leaving behind a graveyard of abandoned concepts. That changed in 2014 when DARPA launched the Aerospace Innovation Initiative. Those secret X-plane prototypes weren't just tests. They were blueprints for the most feared aircraft ever. Behind the scenes, Boeing worked on what they called a penetrating counter-air vehicle. A name that barely hints at the monster they were building. What came next shook the entire defense world. History shows whoever rules the skies rules the battlefield. World War I introduced dogfights, but modern war is about tech so advanced the enemy never even sees the strike coming. America has held this edge with the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning jets that terrified rivals. Even when Ukraine received basic F-16s, Russia's air dominance began to crumble. Imagine their fear when they realized what's next. But China and Russia haven't been idle. Beijing has poured resources into jets like the J-20 and J-15, training pilots and pushing engineers to the limit, yet always lagging behind America. Now they're closer than ever to catching up. In March 2025, President Trump faced a decision that would shape military history. Three defense giants, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and Raytheon, fought for the contract of a lifetime, building the F-47, a jet so advanced it could operate entirely alone. No wingman, no ground support, just pure lethal power. Boeing won with a staggering $20 billion price tag, double any past program. But what they promised was worth it. An aircraft invisible to enemy defenses, capable of slicing through the world's toughest airspace and leaving untouched. The F-47 wouldn't just be another jet. It would be an airborne fortress. But the real shock wasn't America's breakthrough. It was China's counter. While Boeing celebrated, Intel revealed Beijing had been secretly working on its own sixth-gen fighter, aiming to deploy it by 2030, 5 years ahead of US plans. The alarm sounded on August 5, 2025, when leaked photos showed a mysterious tailless Chinese prototype. This wasn't another J-20 upgrade or a tweaked design. Analysts instantly spotted the pointed nose, sharply swept wings with clipped tips, and the signature W-shaped trailing edge. This was China's answer to American air dominance, and it was far more advanced than anyone expected. Dubbed the J-36 or J-50, the jet reflected everything Beijing had learned from US stealth tech. Even worse, it showed signs of going beyond what the F-47 promised. Reports suggested Chinese engineers had solved issues that still plagued American designers. Their sixth-gen fighter wasn't built to match the F-47. It was built to beat it. The implications were staggering. Then came the real shock. China's timeline wasn't just bold. It was fast-tracked. America's urgency with the F-47 makes sense when viewed against China's push into the South China Sea. Beijing openly vows to reunify Taiwan regardless of the will of its people. The only thing standing in the way has been US firepower, especially the F-22 Raptor, F-35 Lightning, and America's carriers under the Taiwan Relations Act. The USS Ronald Reagan, USS Carl Vinson, and USS Nimitz guard the Taiwan Strait like floating fortresses. From their decks, F-A-18 Super Hornets and F-35s can unleash waves of destruction, creating a defensive shield even China hesitates to test. But a sixth-generation Chinese fighter changes everything. If they pierce American defenses and carrier groups, Taiwan could fall in. The balance that kept global peace for decades could collapse overnight. US planners quickly realized fifth-gen jets alone wouldn't cut it. They needed something revolutionary, an aircraft that could lock in American air supremacy for half a century. That's why the F-47 isn't just another fighter. It's insurance against global catastrophe. What makes the F-47 truly terrifying isn't just stealth or avionics. It's tech that was science fiction only years ago. Sources say Boeing and NASA cracked breakthroughs never seen before. Its adaptive propulsion engines mark a quantum leap in power and efficiency. The F-47 can cruise supersonic without afterburners, strike targets over 1,000 nautical miles away and return without refueling. And stealth, it's not just radar evasion. The F-47's multispectral cloaking hides it from infrared, sound detection, and even visual tracking. Enemy pilots won't just fail to lock on. They may never even know it's there until their jets start falling. But the most chilling feature is its AI. Unlike past fighters needing heavy human oversight, the F-47 can direct swarms of drones, turning one pilot into a one-man air force. Imagine facing not just one invisible jet, but dozens of autonomous hunters, all synced to the F-47. This isn't just progress. It's the weaponization of artificial intelligence on a scale the world has never seen. Behind all the tech breakthroughs and military hype lies a sobering truth. The F-47 is the most expensive aircraft project in history. Each jet is set to cost nearly 3 times more than an F-35 Lightning II, which already runs about $100 million. With the Air Force asking for 185 F-47s, total costs could top $60 billion before research and infrastructure. At first, Congress balked. Why spend so much when the F-22 and F-35 already dominate? But Major General Joseph Congal silenced critics with one chilling statement: no other option guarantees air superiority in this contested future. The reality was clear. China's military budget was exploding. Their tech was advancing faster than predicted, and their willingness to challenge US power was no longer in doubt. The F-47 wasn't just another pricey jet. It was the only insurance against losing global supremacy. Faced with survival or restraint, Congress chose survival. But that choice lit a global fire. Russia, despite being drained by the war in Ukraine, suddenly poured money into its PAKD program. America's allies accelerated their own 6th-gen projects. The UK, Japan, and Italy pushed the Global Combat Air Program, while France, Germany, and Spain rushed their Future Combat Air System. What started as an American response to China has turned into an arms race bigger than the Cold War. Every major power is now chasing aircraft once thought impossible. The real danger isn't just cost or complexity. It's instability. With so many nations fielding first-strike weapons, the margin for error shrinks to nothing. One misread radar blip, one bad call, and the world could plunge into a war far deadlier than the last. And this isn't just about jets. It's about global power structures. Whoever wins this race won't just dominate the skies. They'll hold leverage over international trade, resource routes, and political influence. The South China Sea, Eastern Europe, the Persian Gulf, every flashpoint will be seen through the shadow of 6th-gen supremacy. Smaller nations will be forced to align with whoever can guarantee their security, reshaping alliances and rewriting the map of global politics. What makes this moment especially dangerous is how fast the technology is evolving. Artificial intelligence, quantum communications, hypersonic propulsion, advances once decades away are now being weaponized. For the first time in history, machines may decide the outcome of battles without human intervention. Imagine drones coordinating in silence, invisible aircraft striking before radars even flicker, and entire wars being fought in hours instead of years. The 6th-generation race is not just about military pride. It's about survival in a world where hesitation means defeat. America projects the F-47 between 2027 and 2030. But China's accelerated timeline makes the outcome uncertain. The nation that fields the first fully operational 6th-gen fighter won't just gain an advantage, it will set the rules for war, diplomacy, and global order itself. The sobering truth is we're witnessing the birth of weapons so advanced they may make human pilots obsolete. Machines making life or death choices in microseconds. Wars fought in ways we can barely imagine. The 6th-generation race has begun. And the winner won't just control the skies. They'll control the future of humanity itself.